Well, Canada has begun its crackdown on temporary residency. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has announced that they will be granting 35% fewer international student permits this year. Now, along with the international students, the government will also reduce work permits to foreigners. This move is bound to affect the Indian diaspora as it accounts for most number of immigrations to Canada. Now, the three questions that we are asking this evening are: how will Canada's new rules impact Indian students? Will dreams of Indian students be crushed by protectionist policies we are now seeing the world over? And what are the options in front of Indian students who wish to go abroad? All right, now to discuss this further, we are joined by Aditya Bhati. He's a licensed immigration advisor and founder, director of AB's Visa Advisors. Praneeth Mungali, he's an educationist, student consultant and trustee at the Sanskriti group of schools. And of course, we do have Jitin, who is continuing to stay with us on this one. Good evening to all of you. And if I could go to Aditya first. Now, Aditya, obviously, these new policy decisions from Canada come on expected lines as we are seeing a large number of countries clamp down on immigration. What sort of an impact do you see on Indian students particularly?
Quite honestly, Nupur, this has been ongoing for nearly the beginning of this year onwards. So the impact is already there for everybody to see, and numbers have gone down. There are reports which say that currently there is a 47% drop. Some other numbers are closer to about the 50% figure. So numbers have already dropped to a large extent, and in a way it is good, and in a way it is bad. Good in the sense that the genuine students who are bona fide students who intend to actually go to study to get a good academic qualification from countries like Canada will still continue to consider Canada as an option and look at high quality education providers to pursue those programs from. They'll be mindful of the skill shortage requirements in the country and they will choose programs accordingly. Bad in the sense there's obviously a lot of bad mouthing that happens. A lot of negative rumors come up in the market, and that basically kind of sends out a message into the market wrongly that the country is not welcoming Indian students at all, international students at all, which is not really the truth. The truth is they want students, they want bona fide students. They don't want people who want to enter the country in the garb of a student visa, but actually intending to work while they're there to earn money. That's basically what it is. It's going to continue like this, and these measures are actually being employed by a lot of other countries. We've heard that Canada is looking at about a cap of 470,000 students. Australia has announced the figure of about 270,000 students. So Canada is still by far a very, very big number compared to that Australia number. So students will continue to go. They just have to be mindful about picking the right program and the right provider.
Right. Now, Praneeth Mungali, we are seeing more of these protectionist sort of policies from around the world. We've seen it from UK, Australia, Canada, even Poland. They seem to be turning more inwards. Now, do you see these as pivotal shifts, or do you think that they are likely to be perhaps more short-term in nature?
No, but specifically in Canada's case, these protectionist policies, which are borderline populist, are driven by the fact that the existing Canadian Prime Minister's approval ratings are really low. So there was pressure on him to give a slew of populist measures, because it's the broader question is not just the reduction in numbers of the students and the temporary residents, but the ripple-on effect on the cost of living, the cost of homes, the affordability, job employment, health, etc. So to that degree, it's protectionist and populist, factored upon elections. In other parts of the world as well, you cited UK as an example. The economic growth has substantially slowed down, and UK has been facing turbulence post the Brexit, and there's pressure from all sections of politicians as well as society to reserve jobs for people who are a part of the UK. Having said that, and in continuation to the point the other panelists has made earlier, whilst this obviously presents a risk in some sense, it's an opportunity for Indian universities and high quality Indian education institutions to absorb these students who are otherwise looking to go outside. And this shift has to be seen in light of what are the regulatory changes that the Indian government is trying to facilitate to make it easier and friendlier for foreign universities to set up campuses in collaboration with Indian universities or other places, because eventually, I think what is most important for us as a nation, without worrying about what any other country is doing with their immigration policy, is to upskill the quality of our manpower. And we have examples in our country of high quality institutions in collaboration with foreign universities like ISB Hyderabad and a couple of others which can be set up. There are many other players as well which are providing very high quality education, and this demand supply realignment also offers opportunities for high quality Indian universities to come up.
Absolutely, and let me put this question to Jitin now. Jitin, we have been seeing this since quite some while. In fact, from the beginning of the year, we are seeing these shifts in policies coming in from various Western governments. You, of course, do consult with a large number of students. Are they now looking elsewhere? Or are some of them at least hoping to be able to find that quality of universities back home? Because, that has been a major concern, that our education system has still not evolved that much to be able to attract a lot of these youngsters who look, outwards for higher education.
So, in the last few years, I mean, the numbers has only increased. So somehow people who decide that I'm going to look at study outside India, be it after 12th grade or after graduation, or in some cases you'll be surprised after 10th grade also. Every year me and my team are helping at 3-4 students go to schools also after 10th grade, which was not a phenomena say 5-6 years back. So so it has increased. So that is one. Second thing is, see, there are countries who have gone forward and they have utilized, they understand that Indian students are smart students, they are hardworking. So which countries and where are people going and where would the exodus increase? So I'm trying to project this here. So French government signed an agreement called Classes Internationals. So Jan 26, when the French premier was there, so our prime minister and agreement was signed between their president. And it was April 19th, a French embassy data program where they launched this program in front of about 60 principals from top schools all over. So Classes International is a program which is only for Indian students, where I as an Indian student, even without knowing French, I can go. 1 year I learn French and next 3 years I will do my course. Like it can be tech, it can be management, whatever. Of course, in French language, the cost is approximately 3.7 lakh. This is tuition fees, 3.7 lakh to 5.5 lakh per annum, which is a significantly reduced cost compared to, say, if I talk of UBC in Canada, or if I talk of, which is at least I would say 6 to 15 times higher, or if I look at US, it's even more higher. Similarly, Germany. So Germany has jobs, though Germany, again, language is an issue.
Okay.
But a lot of students go to Germany. Japan is opening up in a big way.
Okay.
Finland, we keep on sharing that Finland is the next Canada. Finland, you get a PR. You stay there for 4 years, you get a PR.
So, Jitin, what you're seeming to suggest is that, the focus for Indian students is shifting elsewhere. But, Aditya, I wanted to ask you about, rules for foreign workers also now being tightened. As the minister in Canada seemed to suggest that we need businesses to invest in Canadian workers. Now, is this a shift that we are seeing in other countries, and are they likely to follow suit?
See, it keeps on changing. As I think Praneeth was saying, there's a lot of politics behind it. So that comes into role play. Having said that, of course, there is going to be regular demand on the politicians from the local citizens that there should be some support and some
Yes.
impetus to make sure that the employment opportunities are first being given to the citizens before they are being offered to international workers. So yes, that's going to be there in all the countries. The degree varies, and that degree keeps on changing as per whether there is enough local manpower to meet the skill shortage requirements of the country. The fact is, most of these countries have opened up their doors for us because they don't have adequate, educated, young manpower to meet their labor market requirements, and that is why
All
they are
right.
looking to
So you
recruit
think
international students and workers.
that this is going to be less temporary? Praneeth, any final thoughts before we wrap up the show?
I think just to accentuate everything that we've said, that this provides us with risks as well as opportunities for lots of good Indian universities to try to absorb the students who are trying to go abroad, and maybe to encourage entrepreneurs in India to try to cater to the demands or needs of students who are either trying to get specialized courses abroad, which are not available here earlier. So there's less of a brain drain. The demographic dividend of our country continues to benefit us, and it adds to the India growth story.
So there is a lot of scope in India, and perhaps we need to seize that. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on The Big Story this evening.
Thank you.
Well, with that, it is a wrap on The Big Story. Thank you for tuning in, but do stay with us as we bring you more on NDTV Profit.